Hello everybody and welcome back to some more FE6 hard mode Armors Only. In this one we take on Chapter 18, Ilia route. And this is actually my first time playing through Ilia, so I didn't know that the river freezes over on turn 8. So I didn't really plan for that. So I don't get the guiding ring, but I do get the other ones. I probably could have gotten the guiding ring had I planned accordingly, or burned a warp, but I didn't really feel like burning a warp on this map since it's pretty easy. Also, Douglas gets more speed, which is pretty funny. I think by having 11 speed, he actually avoids a lot of doubles, and actually ends up doubling a few of the Steel Lance Pegasus Knights, which is pretty funny. Very reminiscent of FE7 enemies. Again, Steel Lance Pegasus Knight spam. Weak enemies whose one of their only strengths is being fast. And then you take that strength away, because, oh, well, they need to hit hard. And now suddenly, they do mediocre damage, and are hella slow. And aren't beefy. So they're like armor knights that can fly, but aren't bulky. I don't know who designed Pegasus Knights, but it wasn't me. But yeah, there are a few annoying enemies on this map. There's a Berserk dude. He's a pain. But he's normally not a big deal, because you should have restore staves, but when he Berserks a unit who's decently mobile in a forest, when most of your staffers have bad move in forests, things get a little unfortunate in terms of if you can restore them or not. Overall, this map's pretty easy. Just gotta slowly approach from turns 5 to 10? Or is it 5 to 9? A bunch of brigands will spawn. They'll go to the villages, destroy those. And then from turns 10 to 20, just waves of Pegasus Knights will spawn. Thankfully they're not super threatening, so they're really just minor nuisances at best. But it's still kind of annoying that they last for 10 turns. There's a handful of wyverns, it's just 4. One of them doesn't move until you enter his range, whereas these 3 will start moving once they can reach you in 2 turns. They're not that threatening, but they're at least scarier than Pegasus Knights, because I think they end up with more attack speed. Purely because their weapons do not weigh them down. You would have thought wyverns are just superior in every aspect compared to Steel Lance Pegs. Definitely not me. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't remember. I'm not gonna try and sound stupid by saying a made-up word. Yeah, let's not try and sound stupid while doing post-commentary. That'd be bad. Yeah, anyways, thankfully there's really only one way we're going to be sending our units, so we don't really have to do a bunch of splitting up. We do still do a bit. Just because Boars he's more mobile than the others due to the boots, so he can get to the secret book village faster. And he's also good enough that he can go by himself. Although at this point, I think all of my generals are pretty self-sufficient. Except for maybe Douglas, because he's especially poor against mages. Since there's a decent chance they double him. And yeah, as I was alluding to earlier, Boars gets berserked, and there's not much we can do about it besides stay clear of his range. This does slow us down a little bit, and maybe if the berserk had missed, we'd have been able to get to the Guiding Ring village in time. But ultimately, that guiding ring was just free money anyways. In fact, I think I bought 2 in the secret shop for some reason. We can just sell it back, the extra one back, because due to silver card, buying and selling is the same price, whereas without it, you'd buy something for double the price you'd sell it for. So it's still not a net loss when it comes to boots money. Yeah, Boars is going to be smart and equip 1 to 2. And just go for that priest. Also, Wendy got a cool crit there. But yeah, that kind of goes to show how bulky Wyverns are when it took a crit and a hit on a unit with 21 strength and weapon triangle advantage. And support bonuses, just to take him down. Wyverns are pretty swole until you bust out the legendary weapons, in which case they die in 1 hit, but really that's just due to triple effectiveness. And legendary weapons obviously having absurd might, because if they didn't, they wouldn't really be that legendary, would they? At least Barth is in restore range. We don't really lose anything by him being berserked. In fact, I'd say we gain EXP, staff rank. Yeah, this map isn't scary. Pretty trivial. There's just the few things you need to worry about. You obviously need to bring restore staves, but I think for the past, like, what, 5 maps you should have been bringing restore staves, because from like chapter 12 onwards, this game just really loves status staves. It loves status staves probably a little more than it loves siege tomes, I'd say. But it does love both. But I don't even think its love for siege tomes plus status staves can match for its love of long waves of ambush spawns. But honestly, I don't mind them being ambush spawns as much as I mind there being so many of them. Like, I'm really just not... I've already said this, so I'm not going to drone on and on, but I don't think having 10 turns of 6 enemies showing up adds to difficulty at all. It just adds to tedium. But yeah, hey, Ray finally hit D staves. How long did it take? Like, let me count. So we promoted him on chapter 12. So 12x, 13, 14. 14x he didn't really do anything, but we're still going to count it. 15, 16, 16x, 17. So really 8 chapters it took him to gain D staves. Pretty crazy. What a good unit. And it is really nice that I have 4 units instead of just doing a Boars solo. So if we were soloing with Boars, I don't think it'd add to difficulty, it'd just add to turn count. Because really his combat's so good, again, as I said earlier, we can send him off to do his own thing, and he'll succeed. It's really just that having 3 other units who are slightly worse versions of Boars lets me do multiple things at once. And it's still just as challenging since all 4 of these units, except for Boars I guess, have pretty blatant weaknesses and take a lot of investment to actually get going. Also, if you're wondering why I had animations on, or I turned them on for the first, like, half or what, maybe first 2/3 of this map, is just cause, I don't know, I kind of felt like showing them off for other units. Because typically you only really see Boars when I turned the animations on to kill the boss. Kinda wanted to let Douglas show his stuff, you know. You know. Show off that purple general. Yeah, as I said earlier, Boars is our best bet at getting to the secret shop village, which is why I will be sending him off down there. Man, I can't wait until I can buy boots for all these units. So nice to have an army of like 9 movement generals. Yeah, look at Borz's combat against Falco Knights and Pegasus Knights. Silverlance Falco Knight has like 25 hit on him and does barely any damage. I don't even think he's in a forest. No, he's not. Things just can't touch him. It's pretty absurd how good this guy is. Like, even if he had significantly less bulk, things wouldn't hit him anyways. Most things anyways. I mean, dodge tanking isn't as reliable as just face tanking, but you know what I mean. It's really a two-way defense. Can you do damage to him? If so, can you hit him? Most of the time, you can't do both of those things. And that's why Boars is the best unit in the game. Dodge tank tank. Overpowered. Sakurai, please nerf. I'm excited to get Nime next chapter. She'll basically be a flat upgrade to Rei, because Rei isn't superb in terms of being a flat staff user. I still say he's one of the better units in FE6. He's definitely top half of the tier list. I'd say anyways. He has a lot of utility. You could insert promote him to make him a decent-ish healer. I mean, again, he's not amazing. All short in comparison to, like, any other unit who can use staves at base, but when you can also use him in combat, he's decent at both jobs. I don't think he has any glaring weaknesses. Just besides the fact that he takes a guiding ring. And you probably want to promote Saul, maybe Clarine. But really, who are you using your guiding rings on? I guess if you're using Lu, use one on him. Saul is basically a given that you're going to use a ring on. But you do get third, I guess maybe Hugh? Could argue using Hugh over Rei? I don't know. The guiding ring units in general aren't superb in this game. Especially the animal ones. Hugh, Lu, and Lilina aren't all super good. Lu's probably the best of them, just because he has the availability. And he's accurate. Really, accuracy is one of the biggest issues in FE6 early game. Because if you don't hit, that can like mess up your whole plans. When it comes to dealing with some of the harder early game chapters, such as Chapter 4. Yeah, Barth doubles these Pegasus Knights reliably. That goes to show how slow they are. I mean, my Barth isn't slow by Barth standards. He has 15 speed, which is really good, but then again, 15 speed for Chapter 18 doesn't sound very impressive, does it? But still doubles. It is pretty funny. Yes, I am the Etrurian army, thanks for asking. Yeah, secret books, +4 hit on Boars. Honestly, I think secret books overall are underrated items. +4 hit. I don't know, I just find it so nice. Because in games with 2 RN, at least, +4 hit can kind of snowball. Like going from 90 hit to 94 hit is a pretty significant jump. Even though arguably you should always be able to bank on a 90 hitting. But it's still very nice and removes... I'd say it's hard to quantify without busting out the calculator, but I'd say on average a secret book can save you at least 1 reset, depending on the strat you're using. Especially when it comes to strats relying on crits. +1 crit isn't nearly as significant as +4 hit, but in combination they're pretty decent. Yeah, now we just have to weather the Ilian storm of Pegasus Knight spam. Which is fun. We love waiting. Although again, they're not threatening, and at least we're getting EXP on Douglas, Wendy, and Barth. Also getting Axe rank on them, which is nice. I mean, I doubt Wendy or Barth is gonna get to Armad's rank, but Douglas is. And it is nice to be able to use, I guess, killer axes on Wendy. Although, really all we need in terms of axes on most of our units is just irons and hand axes, which you can just use at base, because they're both E rank. For some reason, not quite sure why. But again, I'd much prefer that than to have to grind up axe rank with an iron axe, just to be able to use hand axes. But yeah. Pegasus Knights, unless the game is called 3 Houses, they're never a threatening enemy. They're only threatening in 3 Houses because they're both absurdly fast and absurdly strong, which are 2 things they're not in most other games, because they usually get weighed down by their own equipment significantly, while also not being strong. They're basically soldiers on wings. I guess they're better than soldiers. Yeah, honestly, I don't know why I was thinking Pegasus Knights on wings. They're really just soldiers on wings. Get weighed down by their equipment, squishy. Yeah, literally that's what they are. Except I guess at least pegs have some form of magical bulk, while soldiers don't. But yeah, Douglas is at that dual S rank, which is pretty nice. Starting with double A is pretty nice. Bors is gonna make his way up. Gotta give him the boss kill, obviously. Still making that compilation of Bors killing every boss in the game. Probably gonna release that right after the series ends. Wendy cap speed here, because the female general cap is 22. Which is, wow, significantly higher than male general speed cap. Yeah, that's D axis for Barth as well, so that's cool. I don't know what D axis even does. I don't know if there's a single D rank axe in the game, but if there is, then cool, he can now use that. Because, yeah, Steel Axe is E, Hand Axe is E. Sword Reaver is C. Killer Axe is C. Brave Axe is B. Silver Axe is A. Tomahawk is also A. Yeah, I don't think there's a single D rank axe, though I could be wrong. I think turn 18, so we still have 3 more waves, because there's this enemy phase, turn 19's enemy phase, then turn 20's enemy phase. The boss is a bishop. Bishop bosses, always irritating, because they have high luck, or high-ish luck. None of them have Boar's tier luck, of course, but luck does make bosses a little bit more dodgy. So, if we weren't allowed to use supports, this guy'd probably take a while, unless we busted out the Armeds, but thankfully we have both Wendy and Barth to give bonus hit to Mr. Boars, which lets him reliably kill with an Iron Axe. So now Wendy can use Reavers and Killers when it comes to axes. I don't know if she ever will. Maybe we'll slap the Killer Axe on her for fun. But I think we only have one. Killer Axe is generally way worse than Killer Lance, I think. So Killer Lance has 75 accuracy. Killer Axe has 60, I want to say, maybe 65. Generally, the jump from axes to lances isn't as big in this game as it is from lances to swords. Because swords are the only actual accurate physical weapon. Besides sort of bows, I think... I'm not positive, but I do think bows have a little less accuracy than swords, though. Yeah, Barth keeps on getting that HP strength defense, which really is the Barth level up. It's the iconic, those are the stats Barth will typically level. But yeah, at this point, the pegs should be done spawning. Which makes this map a nice stroll through the snow up to a random bishop skin, reclone, whatever, of like the 2 other bishop bosses I've already fought. I think it was, what, Orlo and Wyndham? They both look like exactly the same. Or did I even fight Orlo? Is he on, the Echidna route? Or am I thinking of a different dude? I don't know. A lot of boss portraits get reused and recolored to the point where I kind of forget. Like, I think Legance got reused, and he was Morgan, boss of chapter 11B? I think so. Anyways, that doesn't matter. We're killing the boss, boys. With a clean Iron Axe. Well, it's probably not clean, because it's drawing blood from Bishop Man over there, but you know what I mean. Dodgy. Doesn't matter though, because we're gonna crit him in the face. Yeah, what a brilliant man. Scholars will mourn the death of Mr. Martel. Truly the brightest mind of our age. Anyways, yeah, that should conclude Chapter 18. So, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.